Yeah.
This is such a special place. You drive through the streets of Green Bay, no tall buildings, quaint houses, and then boom, right there in the middle of the neighborhood is iconic Lambeau Field. Tonight, we're on to week 2 in the NFL season as we've got a good one here between the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers. Two teams here fresh off week 1 victories. Who can keep it going as we're underway on EA Sports? And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
For most people, the excitement of a kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shoulder into ball carrier, and down he goes.
Let's go down. Ready?
On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. This defense for the Packers, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
Here we go.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Looking to throw. Kramer. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
That's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties. He's able to knock that one away.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Back to throw. Kramer. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Quay Walker, and the Packers are going to take possession of the football.
Well, short of them returning it for a pick 6, that was about the worst start you could ask for in this one because your advantage of getting the ball first is gone, and they're set up a short distance from your end zone. Now you're counting on your defense to prevent a touchdown, and your offense, you better be ready to come out swinging on the next series.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Now a whistle and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Romeo Doubs, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Packers take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fields this way up at the 17. Yeah, they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Now remember, the last time out, they threw the interception. That led to the touchdown, so now time to regroup.
It certainly is, and their goal right now as they go back out on the field, a calming drive, something that takes the ball, keeps it for a while, lets the defense relax a little bit, lets the offense regain confidence in their game plan.
This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Well, They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
From the gun on third down, Kramer. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Rashawn Gary that time fighting free and getting to the quarterback. Here comes the Lions punter now. Back deep, the former All-Pro Tyler Lockett. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. Now, they were winners in the season opener Sunday. Now they get the quick turnaround game here on Thursday night. But, CD, you say this is an ideal setup for them. Why?
Well, it's just the way the schedule lines up because everyone's got to play a Thursday game, and that's because of competitive balance. So, let's face it, would you rather play week 2 when you're still relatively fresh and excited about the season? Or week 15 when you've had a season's worth of bumps and bruises to factor in, and who knows what your record might be at that time as well?
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Packers at 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1. And they've gotten a pretty good deal from the schedule makers as well. Home dates in Weeks 1 and 2.
And I would believe that they would need to take advantage of that, partner, because as you can imagine, the road dates will pile up later this season. So this is a great opportunity for them to put some early distance on the rest of the division and create a little bit of a cushion for them for later in the year.
And I think the ball's out, and this is scooped up by the Lions. He tried to buy some time to the right. So, Charles, when a guy gets out of the pocket, what's the focus of the quarterback?
Most of them keep their eyes downfield. They want to try and make a play throwing the ball. Some of them, they want to tuck it and go. But when they scramble, in this case, as you said, to the right, you're cutting the field in half. So good defenses kind of converge in that spot, and they don't give you much territory to throw the ball. He had nowhere to go with it. Ends up getting the ball stripped.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into, how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game.
9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Off the bootleg, Kramer. And that is incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
They're going to try and throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Packers are going to get the football back in excellent field position. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Throwing left side, and Watson has it. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. That's good for 28 yards.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago. Followed it up with another nice one here. And before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
They'll run with Cook. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Back to throw here. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I know every offense wants to start their snaps closer to the goal line, but it's actually harder to throw the ball in those situations. You throw into that tight coverage, you see what happens. Hard to get the ball in there.
Not enough space there. Lucky maybe that it wasn't intercepted. But do you put it in your quarterback's hands again? That's the question here on 3rd and goal. They'll look to throw. That's to Cook out of the backfield. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A great job to hold him to just a yard there. Now it's 4th and goal.
There's another example that playing football isn't strictly being physical. You got to think as well. Nice job reading his keys by the linebacker and going out in the open space when they dumped it to the back. He was able to make the play and stop him short of the goal line.
Now back to throw. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Romeo Doubs with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Packers' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 14-0. Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra. And he fires one that's intercepted. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown. Charles, it is pretty rare that we see a team build this kind of lead in the opening quarter. And, man, they seem to be clicking on all 3 phases right there. The defense doing its part with a pick 6.
And it's absolutely been the definition of a start that you would pick for yourself and for your team, right? And I have a feeling that they just want to stay in this zone. What's truly incredible about this start is they can add on a couple more scores. This one could legitimately be over in the 2nd quarter.
So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And he returns this to the 22. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse if this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And that one going to come up short. Low throw.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here. 3rd and 10. Operating from the gun. Kramer. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And he is going to have a Lions first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Ready.
Throwing on 1st down. Kramer. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack. 21-0 our score after 1. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. They will run straight ahead with Swift. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
1st and 2nd down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The defense shaking their heads, not aggressive enough, and they allow him to convert a 3rd and 18.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
On 1st down, Kramer. They'll try and set up the screen to Swift. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
Oftentimes now offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
On On second down, Swift. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Looking to throw. Kramer. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
And his kick is right there. It's good, and the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18.
So they do come up with their first points of the game, but Charles, the question is going to shift to their defense.
Yeah, the way things have gone, 3 points could become insignificant fast if this grows to 28-3 or 35-3. They need this defense to come up with a stop, and they need to do it now.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Taken in at the 3.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
On second down, Cook. Room here to run. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 35 before going out.
43 yards rushing for him now on just his first 3 carries.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
A good pickup there at 22. First down, he'll drop to throw.
A complete once again to Watson. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
I like that one, partner. They go back-to-back with excellent gains. And really, it shouldn't be a surprise who they were throwing the ball to. He's their best guy.
Yeah, we knew that they would get him involved early. They're doubling down on getting him involved early.
Don't be surprised if they'll come right back to him again. They haven't.
He's got Watson. It's caught. Touchdown, Packers.
A great effort there. His first touchdown of the new season.
And the Packers continue to pull away here in this first half.
Point after, right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
Maybe a little gas,
yeah,
right?
a little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield, only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
First down, and they go with Swift again. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action.
Ready up.
38-yard line, 2nd and 9.
Ready.
This is Swift on the counter. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on first.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Let's go.
The Packers bringing in an extra member of the secondary here to try for the 3rd down stop.
Cut.
Off play action. Kramer. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Help me out here a little bit, partner, because what I'm seeing is a passing game that's just struggled to complete anything. No rhythm, no timing. Seems like every pass is also contested well, so give some credit to the defense.
Here comes the Lions punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. They had no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score.
And that's caught inside the 35. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. He'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
That's a big force incompletion there to bring up 3rd and long. And this defense can still salvage a little momentum by forcing them to kick a field goal. Because just a few plays ago, they looked like they were headed towards the end zone.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Hunt. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Everything's going right here in this first half, and they've got a good lead. And part of that can be attributed to their success on 3rd downs. This is another conversion here, and they can look to really open things up now with this 1st and goal.
Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. They'll throw now on the final play. Touchdown, Packers! Greg Dulcich as time expires in the first half. And the Packers will extend their lead here just before halftime. Well, this offensive unit, they were solid in the opening week victory, and now they are looking just as sharp here in week 2.
And that's exactly what you want, too, because you want to get better each and every week and really ramp up as the season goes on. I know it's still early in the season and a lot can happen, but this offense, they look like they're going to be fun to watch each and every time out.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll look to throw here.
He's going to launch this deep for Watson.
It's caught inside the 25.
And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. Quite a show of arm strength right there. That was in the air for a long time, and it was on target, too.
And he made that look effortless, didn't he? I mean, he's had a great game throwing the football, and this is going to add to his yardage total in a big way. It's one thing to be accurate on your short and intermediate throws, but when you're...
That's a Packers touchdown!
Romeo Doubs
from 21 yards away.
And the Packers extend their lead yet again.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
Throwing to start the drive. Kramer. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by David Long. And into the end zone. It's a pick six and a Packer touchdown.
And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick six.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. And as confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. Or win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Right back to Swift again on second down. He'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28.
We know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
A third down now. Those last two plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. And that's out to the flat for Swift.
And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now fourth down. Here comes the Lions punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. Now it's Lockett. And call that an even 50 yards on the punt with 7 on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line.
Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much...
This is caught at the 20.
And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. And sometimes you just got to marvel at how these guys can throw the football. He gave that everything he had, and it was right on the money.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. This is caught. Touchdown! An 18-yard touchdown grab.
And the Packers get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them in the turnovers, they've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Escaping the pressure right. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's third down.
Partner just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on third down. Back to throw. Kramer. And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Michael Ojemudia. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football. But just a lot going on there in the middle of the field, and this one winds up a turnover.
Yeah, they're running a crossing route here, and the idea of it is to get defenders confused about who to go with. But if you throw it too early, sometimes it's your quarterback that gets confused, and here he throws it into coverage and gets it intercepted.
Throw over the middle, taken in by Dulcich. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25. So the PI decline, and that'll give them a fresh set of downs.
And when you scout tight ends, one thing you want to know, just how strong they are. And we saw it in evidence there. He was able to fight through all the contact and still secure the football.
Now, a quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
He hits his target, left side, Watson. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
That is certainly one way to frustrate a quarterback. Run those extra defenders on the field. Dime package, lots of speed, no space to fit in the football.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Lions are going to get the ball back on the turnover as they hold on fourth down. Well, with the size of lead that this offense has, I don't think that interception is really going to affect them much. But at least for this defense, something small to hang their hat on.
Yeah, and let's face it, they're not even scoreboard watching anymore, right? They're just trying their best to make a play, get themselves off the field, which they just did, and salvage a little bit of pride in this one.
That'll go for a gain of 7, and it's second down.
Ready.
Looking to throw. Kramer. This one caught. It's the tight end, Hockenson. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards. Well, a lot of ground left to make up, obviously. A lopsided contest, and we're already in the third quarter. And they won't get it all back in one play or one drive. That's cliche, but it's true, Charles. If they can just maybe get plays like that and get a little momentum built, they can get the scoreboard a little closer.
And can you add some blinders to the cliche, meaning keep these guys from looking at the scoreboard, because that doesn't help them at all right now. Their focus needs to be on finishing every drive with points and playing mistake-free football from here on out.
Well, thanks for joining us here on a Thursday night in the NFL. Third quarter, 2nd and 10 coming up. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. That throw taken in by Jamison Williams. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. That's a gain of 31 with right around 1 minute to go in the quarter. Well, look, you're not going to be able to get this all back at once, but that certainly helps.
So you're saying 3 yards in a cloud of dust, not the strategy?
I go aerial attack.
Yeah, I think that's what has to happen. And if you're going to run it, you need to break off big chunks. We just saw a big play right there. They need plenty of those.
On 1st and 10, Kramer. And that is incomplete. Now the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Green Bay, Wisconsin is the spot. Third quarter inside Lambeau. Glad you're with us. 2nd and 10. He'll get about 6 there as he takes this one down to the 24-yard line.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. Operating from the gun, Kramer. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Ready.
Throwing on first down, Kramer. And in for the Lions touchdown. DeAndre Swift from 10 yards out. And the Lions are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. We've paid this offense plenty of compliments already, but, I mean, they are deserving as they start another series. To be leading by this much with so much time left to play in the 4th, Charles, it's really, really been impressive to watch.
It has been, and you have to think to yourself, the preparation that went into this, but the absolute focus that they kept throughout in order to have this kind of a result. This is Super Bowl-esque, and they've got to feel awfully good about what they put out there today.
The throw over the middle taken in, and he'll be dropped just shy of the 35 at the 34. A pickup of 17 on a play that originated at the 17. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
This offense really looking polished these first couple of weeks. Here's 1st and 10. Meanwhile, the throw here is complete and brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down at will. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Zimmerman. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. They had a gain of 10 last time, now a gain of 20 here. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 36. He finds his... Now the ball comes loose, and this is scooped up by the Lions. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
They'll start on the ground with Swift. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. And now here's another interception. Picked up by Michael Ojemudia. And into the end zone. It's a pick six and a
Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Carter hoping to hold a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick six put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the fourth quarter. Just rely more on the passing attack.
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first 3 quarters.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And into the end zone. It's a pick six and a Packer touchdown.
Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them play it straight, do all the right things, but these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line. So bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards.
Here we go.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
That'll put him at 96 yards receiving now for the game, and he's got a first down as well. Back to throw. Kramer. And now here's another interception. Picked up by Jair Alexander. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take him.
And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown.
Christian Watson,
His second touchdown of the night.
and the Packers are on their way to a 2-0 start.
Extra point splits the uprights. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Off the bootleg. Kramer. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Rashawn Gary able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailed by multiple touchdowns and a late sack. Just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
He's got this complete to Williams. And he's going to be shoved out, but not before he gets this down to the 20-yard line.
A big play there on the catch and run. 64 yards.
Well, partner, that's how you make a long drive suddenly not so long anymore. One big play, and they're already in field goal range with designs on getting more than that.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And my goodness, another interception.
And the Packers are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line.
Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. The throw down the field, caught by his running back. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
Well, fans expect these primetime slots to deliver some of the best games each week. And, well, one team has certainly followed through with that tonight. Just an absolute clinic, Charles, on offense here. And they don't seem to be done trying to drive that football.
Yeah, and continue your theme about one team enjoying it. One fan base is enjoying it as well. The other fan base, they might disagree with what they've seen, but the one that's winning, they're certainly getting their money's worth.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's going to loft it deep right sideline. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
Up huge on the scoreboard, and they're still trying to add to their total. That shot doesn't connect, but I don't think it'll dissuade them from attempting another one.
That one looks like he'll throw here. He's going to launch this deep for Watson. And he's got it inside the 10. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 64 yards.
Continuing to keep their foot on the gas, and it looks like they're just having fun out there. They're loose, they're free, and they're enjoying what the scoreboard looks like.
I'd have to say I agree with you totally. They're having a blast out there all game long when they throw the football. They're picking up nice chunks of real estate, significant yardage on just about every throw that they make. And there's another one there, and they continue to have that fun.
And this will be caught, and the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is end the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days. Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say about this game.
Swift going to try up the middle.
And he'll take this one only up to about the 21. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. On third down, Kramer. St. Brown making the catch on the out route. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. That'll give him 8 that time, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Ready up.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and it'll be a turnover on downs. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
They go play action here on first down. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy, because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out, because this one, it was over a long time ago.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, I tell you what, Charles, I know that you don't put a ton of stock into power rankings and things of that nature, but another score here, and 2 weeks into the season, this is maybe the most impressive team in the NFL. Would you agree?
Well, they've certainly sold me as they've sold you, and I agree with you, no question about it. They won easily last week. They're on their way to another lopsided victory here. They're definitely a team to be reckoned with, and they are serving notice to the rest of the league.
Personally, I'd rather see him kick the extra point there than to go for 2, but it almost feels like there's a story within the story here. I mean, this isn't college. You know, size of victory, that matters in those games. Here, all you have to do is win by 1 point. That's all that you need. Instead, they go for it, get 2. You got some pretty ticked off folks on the other sideline now.
And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got done. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They're just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again. At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now.
Looking to throw. Kramer. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Ready?
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And now here is another interception. And the Packers come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over.